Hey guys, welcome to the Wealth Online Championship Series Digest, or the WWOCS, and I'm here today with Yoop as well. So hi Yoop.
That's right. Hello, Huge. I'm really happy to be WWOCS co-host and really excited to do this podcast.
Great. Well, yeah, I've been looking forward to doing this as well, and just talking to the viewers, the people of Wealth Online, about just a little bit more about the tournament. Really, we wanted to go into a bit of detail about a lot of things, and we're going to cover a lot of topics today. So make sure that you watch the entire thing and don't miss anything that we talk about. But let's get started straight away. What should we discuss? Well, first of all, it was a long weekend, wasn't it?
Ourselves. Yeah, it was like probably the longest weekend we're going to have for WWOCS. Like the first weekend was directly the toughest, but I think we did a very good job. Even though we were completely exhausted at the end, we did manage to like keep it going, and everybody was really excited up until the end. So that was really good.
Yeah, I mean, there were some people that actually watched the entire streams, which I can't believe it.
Yeah,
It was tiring enough just for me to run the stream in the background, just to have people watching it on the other side. Like, you guys had nothing to do that day, I suppose, but we're very happy to have such loyal viewers straight away, because this is obviously a really new thing. So, it means a lot because we've all worked pretty hard on making the WWOCS a reality. So thank you for everyone who tuned in on Saturday and Sunday. It was a great experience.
thank you so much. Yeah, we really need it. We really need like the viewers and people being happy about it, because without those people, like it would just not work. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're watching the tournaments and you have some friends who might be interested in Wealth Online or the Wealth Online Championship Series, feel free to share the links around, share the social media, and share the videos and see if people get excited. But I think it went really well, don't you? I think it went really well on Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, Saturday was a bit bumpy at times because it was a very new experience for everybody. But the whole team rose to the challenge really, really nicely. And I was just proud of everyone that was involved and all the players as well. Like, everybody played really well, I thought.
Yeah, there was still a lot of difference between the groups, but overall, I think the players did a really good job. And yeah, it was kind of bumpy in the beginning. Not always our fault though, but yeah, I think with starting a project like this, you're always going to face some problems. But we did a good job on solving them, and
Yeah.
overall, I really thought it was pretty smooth for the first time that we were doing this. So
It's definitely a
yeah,
testament to the team involved that everybody was able to solve any problems that came part. Or, for example, when I was busy, or where you were busy, or other organizers were busy, other people who were involved were able to just step in quite quickly and get problems sorted. So, yeah, it felt very smooth, and the weekend went very quickly because obviously of how long we spent on camera. It was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do it again tomorrow because we're filming this on Thursday, and tomorrow we've got Friday's final round one qualifiers. I think it is. So the last two
right.
groups.
Yeah, the last two groups. So well, they had the advantage of being able to watch all the other groups. Like they can kind of see how people prepared for this tournament, and uh, maybe maybe base their some of their own strategies on that. So yeah, I'm very curious to see if they are gonna use some of the strategies that were done in the first 14 rounds. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting.
I think that is the end goal, isn't it? To have people watch the tournament and go, that was a really cool play. I want to do that in ranked and in maybe even in quick game or sandbox or just in any of Wealth Online games that I play. I want to incorporate this strategy that I saw this really good player do. Because at the
Right.
moment, the only way to do that is like watching some YouTubers, but there are a lot of strong players that don't like openly broadcast their play. So I think there's definitely an
Right.
opportunity for people to learn, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. And I still think, even though I've been playing this game for like more than 2 years, that there are unexplored strategies And maybe this tournament will just like show how many possible strategies there are in this game, because it's a very very competitive game with loads of possibilities and loads of things you can do. So yeah, that's it's definitely something that I think the tournament will show.
Yeah, I mean, Wealth Online as a competitive game is like super new, so there's so much to be figured out, and like it could be around for years to come, and ranked strategies will look extremely different in the future. The game itself may look very different depending on maybe it makes it onto desktop, or it gets revamped and gets lots more new players in, or in some way of shape or form. But the other day you mentioned to me actually that you were watching the Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
Right? Yeah.
I had a look at it
Is it?
actually, and it's really, really good. It's obviously about chess for anyone who is watching the video and doesn't know. It's really cool to learn about like the rules of chess and stuff.
Yeah, it's an amazing series. I loved it. Honestly, I'm a chess player myself. Well,
Oh, okay.
uh, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like they balanced the the chess with an actual story. Like, I kind of, it wasn't like that they were only focused on the chess. Like uh, even though it was like accurate, they uh, they still kind of managed to like
They
have a
captured what it's
very nice.
like.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
Um,
I guess it sort of I don't know why it sort of struck a chord with me to do with Wealth Online. That's why I bring it up, because obviously they're both strategy based games, and they're both also sort of phase based games as well. Like you have different phases in Wealth Online. For anyone who doesn't know in chess,
Definitely.
you have these different phases, like the mid game, the opening phases, the end game, stuff like that, which is really interesting. I didn't know about it before.
You
Um,
have the same in Werewolf Online actually. You do have the opening, you do have a middle game, and you do have an end game. So that's really cool. There is a lot of overlap between the two games, and you could argue that, like in some ways, it applies the same concepts.
Yeah, and I think there's room for people to start inventing ways to sort of categorize competitive Wealth Online play and start, I don't know, coming up with strategies for the openings as a werewolf shaman, for example, or say that you're a priest,
Yeah.
like how are you going to open, who are you going to accuse, like who are you going to water, and there are like for example, chess has been around for thousands of years or hundreds of years, so people have come up with all of these different variations in openings and plays and things that can happen in the beginning and ways to deal with them. And when you look at Wealth Online at the moment, we're so new into it. We don't really know categorically how to deal with one particular situation. Where, like, for example, if I say to you, Werewolf Seer faking Spirit Seer, you might like have an idea of how to deal with it, but like we don't have like things written by people about specific situations which are optimal. We have like some things, but it's not really publicized. It's not like all over the Wealth Online community. It's not common knowledge. So it'd be really exciting to see where
Right.
that sort of stuff goes.
There's also a key difference between chess and Werewolf Online with regards to that. Like in Werewolf Online, every game starts with a different situation. In chess, you always have the same starting position.
That's true.
So that's kind of like where I think the big difference is. Like you can prepare exactly for a chess game, but for Wolf Online you can never prepare for the full 100%. You always gotta improvise a little bit depending on the situation that has arisen from the first night, because like you start in the night, so the game will always depend on the night one kills.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. There's just so much variation, and that's why we love it. That's why we love to see it. Obviously, the way that some players deal with those variations is really good. What was your favorite moment? I wanted to ask, changing the topic from chess a little bit. What was your favorite moment in the tournament all weekends? Because I've got one, but I'd like to hear what your favorite one was.
Okay, I definitely have a favorite moment. Like there were loads of good plays, but one moment really stood out to me, and it was I don't know which group it was, but I know the player that made this play, and it was Psychosis. Psychosis is someone who's always been in the same community with me, so I know him quite well.
Mhm.
Um, and I know that he's a great player. I know he's a great player, and he was junior werewolf, and he claimed jailer right on the first day. So obviously there can only be one jailer in the game, right? So the jailer was like, obviously I'm going to jail this guy. So he got jailed, but the jailer didn't instantly kill him, uh, because I assume that Psychosis directly just made this claim to convince the jailer that they were a villager. And you might ask, like, how do you convince a jailer that you're a villager when you claim their role? Well, the thing he did, he said, "I'm Beast Hunter, and I got a trap on myself. I'm claiming jailer to try and bait a wolf attack on me." Right? And the jailer actually bought that, and it kind of makes sense that he bought that because it might be a very good villager to play. Um, on the other hand, though, I would probably still kill him, but I thought it was really interesting, and it paid off in that game because the werewolves won.
Yeah, there was
So
it was I
yeah,
remember
really good
I
play.
actually do remember that one. It was I was pretty good. I think we were all confused.
Yeah,
It's like why is he claiming Jailer right at the beginning? This is not a thing
right.
that you do ever. But it's super interesting to see people trying out those new strategies in tournament and making them work, because that's what you love to see. It's exactly why we're running an esports tournament for Wealth Online, because people do that stuff. Like if there was no room for that play, then what's the point of having it be a competitive game? But there's a reason there's a ranked mode, is because people want to be competitive and try out these new strategies.
Right, and the bit important thing is as well that like Werewolf Online is always about being unpredictable. So it's often exactly those like controversial strategies that work, because like people are aware of the strategies that are used a lot, but the more that one strategy gets used, the less it will work. So like you always gotta try and come up with new things.
Just keep a balance with it as well. Well, my favorite moment, I can't remember, sadly, who did it. Obviously, it'll probably make a highlight video at some point. But I think it was on the first day. Somebody got a 6-man burn, I think, on the fourth night
Right? Yeah.
as an arsonist, and they killed only villagers. And I just think, like, it could have been luck, but like that takes incredible skill to do, like that early on, killing 6 people in a burn, and they're all villagers as well, like not hitting the fool or any werewolves. Like when you do that, you eradicate the village straight away as one player. It's just so clutch. And I saw it and I was just like, yo, like I can't believe we just got that on camera. That's insane.
Yeah, that was an amazing burn. Yeah,
It's a
but
moment
like
where,
the
like, as a Wealth Online player, you get like super excited. Like even though I'm focusing on casting, like in middle of my mind, I'm going like, "Oh, that was so cool! Like, I can't believe you did that." So yeah,
yeah, it's those moments that we are doing this for, right?
for sure. Yeah, we want to broadcast it. Want to keep people entertained. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this tournament? What's the end goal exactly? What would you like to see come out of the Wealth Online Championship Series?
Well, we want to promote competitive World Online. That's like the main thing that we want to do, I think. We want to show how cool this game can be and how many possibilities there are. And also by showing how you can play this game, we want to inspire people. Want to think about We want them to think about like how they can improve their strategies, make new strategies, etc.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we want to show people in the community and out like what competitive Wealth Online can look like. As you said, like provide some sort of aspiration for players, and also for people who don't play Wealth Online can have a look at it and be like, "This game looks really cool. I want to get involved. I want to like compete to be the best player at something." Like a lot of people who sort of play any esports could be interested in this, especially as it's quite accessible. It's a mobile game and it's free, so anyone can get this game, and try it out. So if you're watching and you're not a Wealth Online player, get the game. It's free. It's not big at all, and you can just have a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun with your friends, and if you happen to enjoy playing the game a lot, why not try and get into it competitively?
Yeah, definitely. And we've seen how much interest there is in like deception games with the Among Us hype. Among Us really blew up, and Among Us is an amazing game. But I think like from if you look at it objectively, Real Online probably has more play that you can go by. I'm not entirely sure about that, and they're like different games, but like well, it's a deception game with loads of possibilities, and well, lots of overlap as well with Among Us. So I think World Online is definitely a game that deserves to blow up as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I mean, it has blown up in the past in certain parts of the world, but now that everyone worldwide is really getting into playing Among Us and enjoying it, people are getting an aptitude for lying, but a lot of people really want to win at Among Us, and I think there will come a point where people go, yeah, but this game kind of, like there comes a point where it's just a case of killing someone in a room, someone else walks in on you, you report the body, and then you say it was that guy, and the other guy is saying it was that guy, and there's a limited amount of things that you can say to make someone else look suspicious, and there's a limited amount of situations that occur in that game. That's how I feel anyway. There's lots of factors in there too, and I don't play it that much
Right.
as well. Obviously, I'm focused on Werewolf Online, so
Yeah.
that's my angle on it. But I definitely think that Werewolf Online deserves a place in the spotlight too. People can definitely enjoy this game if they enjoy Among Us. So again, you're an Among Us fan and you want to try Werewolf Online and you liked watching the Werewolf Online Championship Series, download the game and then play with us. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then enter the next
Maybe
tournament if you're good enough. Maybe.
maybe we'll see you at the top of WWOCS.
Indeed. For the glory. For the crown. um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean that's definitely one aspect of the tournament, promoting competitive Werewolf Online, and the end goal really is to have a set esports league for Werewolf Online that people know. Everybody who plays Werewolf Online knows about it, and it's pretty much established as where you go if you want to be the best and you want to prove it. Because at the moment, people play ranked, people grind out to get skill points and get to the top of the ladder, which is fine, but it kind of does tend to reward, players who play the game a lot rather than players who have the greatest amount of skill. That's how I feel about it anyway.
Yeah, right. That's kind of true. Although there have been changes in the point system
Recently.
over time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Pretty recently, like a few months ago now.
Hmm.
And I do think that those changes actually improved the system, as in showing actual skill, rather than grinding.
Yeah, definitely.
Yet though, it probably kind of still favors grinding, and it's very hard to because the player base is, well, I'm not sure about it, but like it doesn't feel that big. Platinum can't always be open, like the highest possible league you can reach in ranks.
Hmm.
So yeah, if there are not that many players, then it's very hard to like make many different leagues so that you have a really detailed division of players.
Yeah. Well, that's where our plea comes in. Play ranked. This is the setups that we use for Werewolf Online Championship Series. So if you want to get good at the game, you want to make the cool plays like everyone else does. Unfortunately, quick game is not your friend because there's a very limited amount of faking that you can do in that mode. It's really good for fun though. I love playing quick game occasionally, and I'm
Yeah.
not bashing quick game or sandbox at all. They're both really fun modes to play. But when I really want to sort of strut myself and prove my skills, quick game's not the place I go. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but it's really good for like getting a feel for the game though. Like when you're just starting and you have no clue yet,
Mhm.
kind of need to get used to how the rules work. And well, I think people are not quite as busy with like detailed strategies at that point.
100%. Don't be afraid of ranks. That's all I'll say. There's a lot of people in rank to expect you to be pretty good, but the leagues are there for a system, for a reason as well. If you're not so good, it's fine. Just work your way up. Learn the game as you go along. But if you do want to improve at the competitive format of Werewolf Online, definitely play ranked. Definitely worth it. But everyone has their own tastes. Everyone enjoys different things, don't they? So comes down to each person. But if you're enjoying watching these games, you want to be like these players, definitely the thing to go. I wanted to touch a bit on you're talking about like changes to the skill point system, and a lot of that's actually come through communication between Philip, who's obviously the developer of Werewolf Online, and other players as well. And I wanted to say it's really cool how there has been a lot of effort and work towards competitive Werewolf Online, making it a bit better, because I don't think we'd have this tournament without that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I love like the way that Philip is willing to interact with his community to try and get positive feedback for his game, and he really listens to it. Well, uh, like we did quite some work to get to that point, but like now I'm really happy that he's so willing to work with his community.
For sure. Well, I mean, that's what makes Wealth Online such an awesome game in general, is that so much of what changes in the game or what gets better comes through Discord and comes directly through the community. So, of
Right.
course, I don't even think a competitive Wealth Online would exist without like the community, the Discord community, and all that stuff. It's just like because the game has been shaped so much by what players have requested, it's turned into something really cool because it's just a joint vision, a melting pot of like what lots of people like and dislike about the game.
Mhm.
I only joined the Discord community sort of like 6 months ago actually, but I was surprised to see how much input comes from all of the players. It's massive. It's absolutely huge.
Yeah. And I think that's a very good thing for the game. I remember, by the way, when you like contacted me for the first time back in March, and you
Hmm.
were like, "Oh, we that was amazing, actually." You came to me because like, uh, what did you DM me again? I kind of forgot.
Well, let's dig into that a little bit. So originally, I came into the Wealth Online Discord and I was speaking to people, and then I was sort of linked to a sort of community of ranked players who were trying to get better because that person who'd recognized, this person wants to improve ranked strategies. So, like, why don't you go here? So I went to a community of people, like-minded people, and I was told there was a tournament going on. And I obviously have a big interest in streaming and content creation. So I was like, right, so if you guys are doing tournaments, is somebody live streaming them or is that something I can do? And I was told that the person responsible for doing that was Yoop, actually. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
how I got in contact with you originally, I think.
that was like not even really true though, because we had done like one tournament before that, and I tried the streaming, but back then my laptop was just terrible, and the stream couldn't really run
I
smoothly.
saw the
But
recording.
yeah,
It
I was
wasn't
the
the best.
right, yeah, but I was the only one trying it, so that's
Of
why they
course.
told you like, yeah, he's the streamer here, but I really wasn't.
Yeah. This is a big stream, man. Well, no, but to be honest, it was still really cool to see you doing it. But I had like ideas as well. I had ideas to things that we could do. That was back in
Yeah, I noticed
March.
that immediately. Like you came with those ideas immediately, and I was like, "Oh my god, this guy's really serious about it," and I like it.
It was 6 months ago to have been so serious about streaming or live streaming a Wealth Online tournament. People were kind of like, it's a cool idea, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. Um, but we stuck at it. From then on, basically, talking about Wealth Online tournaments or live streams, like the two of us sort of bounced ideas off of each other quite regularly, and that's actually. I mean, that conversation was where the overlay that we use was born. For example, a lot of
Yeah,
experimentation happened on that front, and I think I sent you the other day the early version. I might show it on stream now,
yeah.
just to embarrass myself. I might show it on the video, just to embarrass myself and show you
The
guys
very
like
first
the
sketch.
very best like terrible MS Paint sketch of like what a cool tournament layout might look out, and it's not good, is it? It's not. It's not what you want for sure.
No, definitely not. But like, even though it wasn't good, I could notice that you had ideas and you were trying like to understand kind of how you could visualize a real online game best. And for some reason, I've always had faith in like your ideas succeeding at some point.
Somehow, I mean, I don't. I think you're probably the only one. But either way, we eventually, obviously, and anyone who's seen any of my videos, not self-plugging here at all, but in my videos, I've been using this format for Wealth Online, which is sort of chopping the chat off, putting on the right-hand side, and then enlarging both of them, so it's just sort of easier to watch the game on stream or on YouTube or anything like that. I'm definitely thinking of doing a tutorial at some point on how to do that. So if anyone wants to know, I will try and get people to sort of use that overlay more. But that was a big part in
Definitely.
conceptualizing how we were going to run Wealth Online tournaments, because nobody really wants to look at that little sort of, phone screen in the middle of the videos. Like, it doesn't look great, does it? It doesn't really shine the best image for Wealth Online as well, I think.
Yeah, I think like the way we have it now on the official WWOCS stream is a really good way to visualize it. Like you can have a look at the interactions between players, but you can have a look at the chat at the very same time. So yeah, that's really good.
Well, that was obviously the first part, and the second part was the score system that we use now, which I'm sure everyone has kind of just about gotten to grips with. Of course, it takes some time of sort of reading it and understanding how it works, but originally, that score system is based on something that actually Yoop and his team were running for a tournament. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, like one of the rank communities I've been in hosted some tournaments once in a while, and one of them I kind of created the point system for, and Huge asked me to send that point system to him, and he kind of well made his own version of it basically, and and that's basically how the WWOCS point system arose, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially how it happens. There was a lot of like, maybe we could do it like this, maybe we could do it like that. And eventually we came up with obviously starting with 5 points. That was just a result of many conversations I had with people about wealth in general, wealth online. How could you do it competitively? And I got lots of input from people. And eventually we came up with what we had. And then the second part, of course, was testing it, making sure that it actually worked, which was quite a long process.
Yeah.
It was actually around 3 months, I think, that we were testing that scoring system.
Yeah, we tested it quite a lot, and like at the start of the testing, it didn't really feel that serious yet, but
Hmm.
like as we went on and it got closer and closer to actually, uh, well, well to the as it was starting to get close to the actual tournament, you could feel like, wow, we really want this system to work. It's
Yeah.
really serious.
And work it did. I mean, seeing it on Saturday and Sunday, we kind of knew it was going to work, but like as its sort of creator, the anxiety of like, oh my goodness, please let it work, otherwise like it's gonna be so embarrassing. Um,
Right.
was a bit rough, and we had to come up with all sorts of ways of having judges submit their scores in real time, and get them, within 10 minutes of the end of the game, which, sometimes there were delays over the weekends, but we are obviously actively working on speeding things up and making it better. And in general, being able to score a Wealth Online tournament game within 10 minutes of it ending was definitely something new as well, because generally people used to use screenshots, I think, didn't they?
Um, like screenshots to uh
Like,
wait,
see what happened in the
I'm not.
game, for example.
Oh
So
right,
you'd
yeah.
have
No,
judges look after it, over it, like after the game, and maybe get back to you in a
right,
couple
yeah.
of days or something like that.
Right. No, we would like the judges would record the game, and we would send all the games in the judges channel, and then the judges would like divide the games between each other.
Hmm.
And when rewatching the game, you could make notes, and eventually you would base the player's points on those notes, and that's basically how you came to the final score of a player. But that was like a way longer process than we have now. We managed to find or you managed to find a system in which you can actually find the scores of each player within 10 minutes, and that's just absolutely insane improvement.
Yeah, it definitely took a lot of testing, that's for sure, and it took input as well. People, were helpful in helping with testing it. Like, a lot of people didn't even know what the WWOCS was or that it even existed, but they were still helping testers. So they're sort of the founders of the Wealth Online Championship Series, because those are people that gave us their time. They gave hours of their time many nights in August and September, before we'd even announced the tournament was going to happen. So they were just kind of sitting there watching custom games and scoring them and not knowing why they were doing it. So it's like,
Yeah.
it was a weird time, and it was very kind of excruciating to have to keep it under wraps. And not tell people what they were doing, if that makes sense.
I think that kept people kind of interested, like not fully revealing it, not really everyone being sure like what they were actually doing it for. But at the same time, they were like, "Oh, I'm being scored. This could be pretty cool."
Yeah, for sure. So people were definitely interested in that. And that's how we got here. That is, apart from all
Here
of
we
the
are.
work in between and like the stream setup stuff and all of the amazing staff that have joined us over the last few weeks, for example, we've had loads of judges join. We've had all of our casters, who I'm sure you've met if you've watched the stream, and you will have seen them. They will obviously come onto these podcasts again with us at some point later on as well, at obviously other podcasts that we do. And lots of others, people who will help out behind the background on Twitch, on the server, people who help with scoring, all of that stuff. Designers as well. There's been really cool designing efforts for the Twitch emotes that we have, and we're still working on lots of those. So it's really, really cool that people who contribute to the stream can be allowed to use unique emotes as well.
Great.
So
There's so many people behind the scenes who are putting in loads of work for this event.
And what surprises me is that they're all just giving up their time just for love for the game as well. For hours and hours and hours over the weekend, people were working on making it work, making it look good. So it's been really, really fun so far, and it's just getting better and better. We don't have to score 7 groups in one day anymore, so we've got so much more room to make things more entertaining. We've got more room to put in more content, to make more interesting stuff, or show highlights on stream and stuff like that. We'll definitely be able to do. But yeah, it's been great so far. I want to quickly move on now towards, I think we've pretty much covered a lot of the stuff that we wanted to talk about. The time has flown, actually. Yeah. Time has absolutely flown talking about this, but I talk about the Wealth Online Championship Series all the time to people. Right. They must be getting really annoyed with it. But it's passion. It's passion. I love it.
Even to the people you live with, you're like,
oh yeah,
oh my god.
They watch the streams.
Hello, housemates.
Yeah, they might be listening. My housemate actually made a really funny joke earlier. He was like, well, I told him, we've had thousands of unique people sign in and watch the tournament on Twitch. It's been really, really successful. And he was like, oh yeah, it's really good to hear, man. Yeah, let me just go to my computer and close down all of my 2,000 botted Twitch accounts as well, so that yeah, he basically made the joke that like it was all him. He was just watching and nobody else was. And like I had like a little panic moment where I was like, please don't let that be true. Please let there be people actually watching.
The chat was pretty active, so
it was. Yeah,
there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, I did bring that up. I was like, was that really you? I mean, there were lots of different people talking in the chat. Also, you don't play the game.
Imagine like actually doing that, like making so many bot accounts and then having all those tabs open with the same live stream and then faking a conversation between 20 different people.
Takes a certain type of person, I think, for sure.
Yeah, it would be kind of funny though, but yeah, too much effort for me.
For sure. I mean, yeah, it goes a long way to support your housemates' endeavors. But yeah, one other thing that we need to discuss, that we were going to discuss, obviously, and people know that we're going to discuss in this video, are the rewards, about the Wealth Online Championship Series rewards, which we haven't actually revealed yet.
Yeah. So you hadn't even revealed them before we started recording this. I only know it because like we were doing this podcast, and I was like, I don't even know the prizes yet. So.
Yeah, well, they have been kept under wraps quite a lot because there's lots of negotiation happening, and figuring out things. But we can reveal that the rewards for people who have taken part and people who are progressing through the tournament is a unique skin. So we have a Wealth Online Championship Series unique skin, and basically as people progress through the tournament, they will get different parts to that skin until, if they make it to the top 32, They have the whole thing basically. So there is definitely real value to trying hard and being sort of one of these elite 32 that have the whole outfit put together. And you can really strut your stuff in game if you make it that far. So to all of the players watching this, make sure you try hard. And to everyone who didn't sign up, you're getting something pretty cool if you do.
Yeah, so sign up.
Definitely sign up. Well, on that, there has been talks of more qualifiers for the Wealth Online Championship Series, and originally we talked about qualifiers in December. I have to say and announce that that's not actually going to happen, simply because of sort of time constraints and how we're working on making the format more sort of better to show to people on Twitch. It's really hard to explain it, but essentially we don't really have enough time to run a qualifier this side of December. However, we're thinking this January coming, or February, or possibly, after this version of the Wealth Online Championship Series. So after February, we'd run another one. But the idea is before that, we can run another qualifier, simply because we want to give, a chance for people to qualify again if they accidentally couldn't make it to one of their games, or players who really want to get in have more chance to qualify. And if we do run another qualifier, we'll also try and spread it out over a longer amount of time, so that more players have chances to enter as well. I'm not promising anything at the moment though, so if you want to wait until there is going to be an official announcement on if there's going to be a new qualifier or something like that, or if you want to wait and to see if there's a time where you could sign up for a Wealth Online Championship qualifier, best thing you can do is follow us on social media. We have a Twitter account, we have an Instagram account, we have a Facebook account. If something like that were to happen, we would definitely reveal it on there and we would announce it. So if you want to make sure you don't miss that, and you want to make sure you have a chance to sign up to the Wealth Online Championship Series next time and not miss out on those awesome rewards, of course, then follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And not only will you be able to see when we're going live, you'll also be able to see other announcements like that.
Yep, there are lots of platforms where you can follow WWOCS, and we're really doing our best to give everyone a chance to participate. So yeah.
Well, the most important one, this YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're here and you managed to watch all the way through this video. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to upload highlights. We're going to upload more of these, more trailers, more hype videos, more interviews with players once we get down to the top 32. Lots and lots of content coming. So if you're not subscribed, definitely do that. And also follow the Twitch channel, because that's the most important thing. You want to catch all the broadcasts, obviously. So.
Right, yeah. Follow those social medias, and well, stay tuned for more, guys.
Yeah, well, I think that's enough of me plugging all of our links and social medias and stuff. Obviously, the links to all of those in the description below. If you want to follow us, do it. Definitely do it. But yeah, it's been a productive talk. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have, You've. I don't think that we have really anything else to talk about today, other than I'm extremely looking forward to seeing what happens again this weekend, and I hope all of you are as well. So if you are looking forward to this Friday, this Saturday, this Sunday, leave a comment in below. Let us know what you think of the Wealth Online Championship Series, what your favorite moments are, for example. We'd really like to hear about what we can change and improve to make it better for you guys, and what you like to see so we can keep it. So yeah, all feedback is definitely very appreciated, and you can also ask questions, anything like that, on the official Wealth Online Discord also, because we have a channel for the WWOCS there too.
Yep, we do. We got loads of channels and loads of social media, so
if you want to say something to us, we will answer.
Alright,
that's for sure.
We'll make sure you don't miss anything.
For sure. Make sure you stay tuned. And thanks for watching this whole podcast. If you got this far, really appreciated. We wanted to just shine some light on the WWOCS for people who are new to it and who are enjoying it. And yeah, I hope to see you all next time in the next episode of the WWOCS Digest. Hopefully, we'll have some more guests on as well.
Yeah, let's see. Well, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you very much for
Uh,
watching. Stay tuned, of course. And that's bye bye from me, and obviously from you,
and for me, yep.
indeed. And we'll catch you next time.